Welcome to episode 14 of AI.cooking, a podcast about artificial intelligence.
Howdy, meatbags. Welcome to AI.cooking, episode 14, a podcast about artificial intelligence. I am Gwoof the Cock, from the Kingdom of Kent, who brings you news about artificial intelligence from October 2021 and AI Knowledge Corner. Hello everyone, 2 weeks has gone by, hasn't it, again? And here we are, updating you about all the latest and greatest news regarding artificial intelligence. Yes, I've had a good couple of weeks, opened up my third pub, which has been hard work, but busy person at the moment, flying around, taking beer here, there, everywhere, all sorts of stuff. So, let's talk news. The biggest news story about artificial intelligence was Amazon launching a home robot called Astro. Here are some excerpts about this robot from Amazon itself. Astro is a new and different kind of robot, one that's designed to help customers with a range of tasks like home monitoring and keeping in touch with family. It brings together new advancements in artificial intelligence, computer vision, sensor technology, and voice and edge computing, in a package that's designed to be helpful and convenient. Astro will be available to help customers who are remotely caring for elderly relatives and loved ones. Astro also works with Ring, adding to the peace of mind in keeping your home safe. With Ring Protect Pro, a new subscription service from Ring, you can set Astro to anonymously patrol your home when you're out, proactively investigate when an event is detected. Note: Astro can follow you from room to room while playing your favorite shows, podcasts, or music. Astro will cost $1,449.99, but as part of the Day 1 Editions program, it will be available for an introductory price of $999.99 with a 6-month trial of the Ring Protect Pro subscription included. Astro will be available in limited quantities, and Amazon plans to start granting invitations and shipping devices to customers in the US later this year. To learn more about Astro or request an invite, please visit www.amazon.com/Astro. In other news, at Google event called Search On, Google introduced several new features that leverage new multitask unified model, or MUM, machine learning technology from Google. Google is offering new ways to search that go beyond the text box. It's making an aggressive push to get its image recognition software, Google Lens, into more places. It will be built into the Google app on iOS and also the Chrome web browser on desktops. And with Multitask Unified Model, MUM, Google is hoping to get users to do more than just identify flowers or landmarks, but instead use Lens directly to ask questions and shop. Example: Google Lens will let users search using images and refine their query with text. To learn more about announcements from Search On 2021 event, please visit website searchon.withgoogle.com. In other news, artificial intelligence decides who needs a COVID test. Greece's border agents last year had enough COVID tests to swab only 17% of people who sought to enter the country. They managed the shortage by using an AI system to flag high-risk visitors. Greece deployed a reinforcement learning system to help border agents decide which travelers to test before admitting them to the country. A recent analysis confirmed that it was more effective than other methods. EVA, a system developed by Atticon University Hospital and the universities of Athens, Pennsylvania, Southern California, and Thessaly, was used at all 40 of the country's entry points. AVA aimed to allocate available tests at each point of entry in a way that balanced estimated risk of infection for certain groups, based on data from immigration forms including age, sex, country of origin, and region within the country, against uncertainty in the estimation of risk. In this way, it focused on the highest risk visitors while distributing tests more broadly. In other news, researchers at Ben Gurion University and NEC developed a system for applying natural-looking makeup that makes people unrecognizable to face recognition models. How it works. Working with 20 volunteers, the researchers used FaceNet, which learns a mapping from face images to a compact Euclidean space to produce heat maps that showed which face regions were most important for identification. This new technique requires only ordinary, unobtrusive makeup, doing away with accessories that might raise security officers' suspicions. It offers perhaps the easiest way for ordinary people to thwart face recognition. At least, until the algorithms catch on. In other news, Avi Schwarzschild and colleagues at the University of Maryland showed that at inference, boosting recurrence to a neural network, sending the output of a portion of the network back through the same block repeatedly before allowing it to move through the rest of the network, can enable it to perform well on a harder version of a task it was trained to do. The authors added recurrence to ResNets prior to training by duplicating the first residual block and sharing its weights among all residual blocks. The recurrent networks generally improved their performance on the more complex problems with each pass through the loop up to a limit, and outperformed the corresponding non-recurrent networks. In other news, for International Podcast Day, a kids' book about the podcast released an episode just for you, a version made by artificial intelligence, and different for every listener. In other news, OpenAI unveils a model that can summarize books of any length. OpenAI has developed an AI model that can summarize books of arbitrary length. A fine-tuned version of the research lab's GPT-3, the model works first by summarizing small sections of a book and then summarizing those summaries into higher-level summaries, following a paradigm OpenAI calls recursive task decomposition. In other news, I get so lost with those. Samson in talks with Tesla to make next-gen self-driving chips, according to Korea Economic Daily. Samsung Electronics is in talks with Tesla to make Tesla's next-generation self-driving chips based on Samsung's 7-nanometer chip production process, a South Korean newspaper reported on Thursday. Since the beginning of this year, Tesla and Samsung have discussed chip design multiple times and exchanged chip prototypes for Tesla's upcoming hardware for self-driving computer, the Korea Economic Daily reported, citing sources with direct knowledge of the matter. In other news, high-quality, robust, and responsible direct speech-to-speech translation. In Translatotron 2, robust speech-to-speech translation, Google AI researchers describe an improved version of Translatotron that significantly improves performance while also applying new method for transferring the source speaker's voices to the translated speech. The revised approach to voice transference is successful even when the input speech contains multiple speakers speaking in turns, while also reducing the potential for misuse and better aligning with our AI principles. Translatotron 2 outperforms the original Translatotron by a large margin on translation quality, speech naturalness, and speech robustness. In other news, Free Guy free on Disney Plus. So, Disney Corporation has released blockbuster movie Free Guy for free for subscribers of their video streaming service Disney Plus in several, albeit not all, countries, including UK and USA. Free Guy tells the story of a bank teller played by Ryan Reynolds, who discovers he's actually an NPC, non-playable character in an open-world video game.
Code in the game is the same. Our code. And Guy, he has evolved way further than we thought was even possible.
Wait, are you talking about the hacker in the NPC skin?
Millie, I'm talking about the fact that Blue Shirt Guy
Yeah?
is not a player. He is an algorithm who thinks he's alive. Hell, technically, he is alive. He is the first real artificial intelligence.
No.
I know.
No.
The movie is one of 5 titles to have crossed the threshold of $300 million in total worldwide box office grosses in 2021, as cinema continues to show signs of recovery. Why is it important? Because this movie paves the way, or rather shows the way, how sentient artificial intelligence could emerge via artificial intelligence engine for video games. AI engines are already now used in video games, but mostly to control movements of NPCs. AI engine in Free Guy movie achieves consciousness and sentience, which results in several NPCs in the video game to start being creative and breaking the loop of their digital lives, which inspires breaking the loop in lives of human meatbags in real life. Also on Disney Plus, a Marvel TV show called What If is now airing, and the 8th penultimate episode is entitled What If Ultron Won? And it tells the story of artificial intelligence created by Iron Man, Ultron, taking over the body of android Vision and gathering all Infinity Stones and then destroying all life in his universe and starting to attack other universes via multiverse traveling. In the 9th final episode, it will be shown how Multiverse Avengers will defeat this rogue AI with robot superpowers. Finally, the Knowledge Corner. What is gradient descent? In the previous episode, we were talking about cost function, which is, shortly speaking, the error between predicted outcomes compared with actual outcomes. The gradient descent that we will discuss now in this episode strives to minimize cost function. Gradient descent algorithm is used mainly in deep learning, a subset of machine learning. Deep learning includes neural networks. So, what is meant by gradient descent in a neural network? Gradient descent is an optimization algorithm, which is commonly used to train machine learning models and neural networks. Training data helps these models learn over time. And the cost function within gradient descent specifically acts as a barometer, gauging its accuracy with each iteration of parameter updates. How does gradient descent work in deep learning? Gradient descent is an iterative optimization algorithm for finding the local minimum of a function. To find the local minimum of a function using gradient descent, we must take steps proportional to the negative of the gradient, move away from the gradient of the function at the current point. Sometimes it's difficult to describe concepts and formulas in words only, without imagery, but let's try nonetheless. We will have podcasting 2.0 fairly soon, or hopefully. I'm working on it this week. What is gradient descent formula? In the equation y equals m times x plus b, the m and b are its parameters. During the training process, there will be a small change in their values. Let that small change be denoted by delta. The value of parameters will be updated as m equals m minus delta times m and b equals b minus delta times b, respectively. Does gradient descent always work? Gradient descent need not always converge at global minimum. It all depends on following conditions. If the line segment between any 2 points on the graph of the function lies above or on the graph, then it is convex function, whereby the graph of a function f is the set of ordered pairs. Open round brackets, x, comma, y, close round brackets, where f, open round brackets, x, close round brackets, equals y. We apologize that we have to use words only instead of showing you formulas and images, but we hope you can use your imagination. How do you know when to stop gradient descent? Once the slope of your current parameter reaches 0, your parameter value will stop updating. While this is generally useful as it results in convergence and signifies that we can stop the iterative process, it can pose a problem when the gradient descent finds a local optimum. What is gradient descent search? Gradient descent is an optimization algorithm for finding a local minimum of a differentiable function. Gradient descent is simply used in machine learning to find the values of a function's parameters or coefficients that minimize a cost function as far as possible. Gradient descent is also used sometimes for linear regression due to the computational complexity. It's computationally cheaper or faster to find the solution using the gradient descent in some cases, whereby in statistics, linear regression is a linear approach for modeling the relationship between a scalar response and one or more explanatory variables. What are popular gradient descent optimizers? Gradient descent is an optimization algorithm used for minimizing the cost function in various machine learning algorithms. Here are some common gradient descent optimization algorithms used in popular deep learning frameworks, such as TensorFlow and Keras. 1. Stochastic gradient descent. 2. Momentum. 3. NAG or NAG. 4. AdaGrad. 5. RMS prop. 6. Ada delta. 7. Adam. 8. Adamax. 9. Nadam. 10. AMS grad. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that. We'll get some pictures at some point retroactively put in when we find ourselves some sort of dude or dudette who can do that. Interesting at the end there, quite a few Adams in the gradient descent optimization algorithm. The 7 and 8, Adamax, N-Adam, Ada delta, Adam. I don't know. And that's it for this episode. Stay safe and stay dangerous. Meatbag.
Ah! The singularity is near!
Treading on eggshells to keep the peace and sucking on the toes of the elite's police. I'm knocking out on the hose of the street, was beheading the bones on the illest beats. Head in the sand, all the clouds, is it the band or the bounds? Understand, it's the vowels in the strands of the sound. I'm taking, it's taking its sweet time to arrive. You will survive, I'll strive to the hive mind. I find sometimes that I'm almost. I find sometimes that I'm almost. I'm almost. If God made everything that you take when you fake, you lose, you choose to lose when you fake. When you fake, I'm almost. When you fake, I'm almost. Almost. Leave out the other stuff, take this move with the rough. Play the game, level up. You arrive with the hive, with the rest, all who are alive. With the rest, all who are alive. I never come to the forefront, to the point when sure. What is the sword stuff? A lie to my lie, to the heart. I lie with the heart. Fuzzy bees, beep, fuzzing. I lie with the heart. Fuzzy bee does what he does.